looking up to the 42nd story of the Conrad Hilton Hotel. It's lights, action and camera. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to Dubai. And we're off to see the Olympics of thoroughbred horse racing, where champion trainer Michael de Kock has got no fewer than 7 runners to compete on the world stage. The Dubai skyline is somewhat different from 19 years ago, when the world's richest horse race started to take shape. That was back in 1996, but we can guarantee you that the traffic jam was nothing like the one we encountered on the way to Maidan. Limos, Rolls Royces, yes, they were all there in their droves. And looking at the grandstand, which looks like a drop from a spaceship, we take you back to the track work of a horse called Star Empire and a horse called Vercingetorix. Team de Kock very happy with their work as they come through their paces. They were to participate in the Gold Cup over 3,200 meters and the duty-free over 1,800 meters respectively. But the real firepower was to start early on Dubai World Cup night, with Anton Marcus having put Variety Club through his last workout on the grass at the training track alongside the Maidan racetrack. He moved beautifully and he looked absolutely set and ready for action. Soft falling rain, of course, was the defending champion, and Team de Kock were very kind to show the Let's Go Travel touring party around the stables on the Thursday night prior to the Dubai World Cup. Colleen and Karina were absolutely ecstatic as the big fellow strutted his stuff back to his stable. He looked magnificent, and the dual reigning horse of the year, bred by Anton and Dominic Shepherd at their Beaumont stud, Pippa of course standing var at the Aventure stud, and then off to the top of Maidan for a sumptuous braai, barbecue, call it what you like, and then off to the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, and the indescribably beautiful dancing fountains. And so from the tallest building in the world to the richest horse race meeting in the world, $27.25 million worth of stakes, and Variety Club walked into the parade ring as if he owned it. The defending champion was, of course, Soft Falling Rain. He had been victorious a year earlier from a deep draw, showing enormous courage, but he was probably just 1 run short of absolute peak fitness. He, however, looked a picture under Paul Hannigan in Sheikh Hamdan's colours. But Marcus and Ingrid Jooster's son of Var strode out to the track with purpose, as did Fiona and Karina. And so it came to pass that Team South Africa took the opportunity to have the last photograph before Variety Club made his date with destiny. The Godolphin Mile, $1 million United States dollars, 1,600 meters. And as Variety Club walked around at the start, it was Soft Falling Rain who went to post as the ruling favorite. And with the innovative handler cam on Variety Club, we joined Terry Spargo for the race call.
Gates fly, they're racing in the Godolphin Mile, and Capital Attraction jumped in the air when the gate sprung back and dropped back to the tail of the field. Variety Club came out very quickly. Soft Falling Rain began well. Having left a quarter behind in fair time, Variety Club by 3 parts of a length over Soft Falling Rain. Bright Line is 3/4 of a length away, running third, but he's 3 deep. Gloria Waits fourth on the rail, Gold City fifth in the middle, 3 parts of a length Lamario, then El Lavelle, Penitent, Sharuk going through in the middle, Variety Club in front, Soft Falling Rain comes after him, Bright Line's a length away third, they're 2 clear of Gold City, Variety Club led, coming to the 200 metres mark, he found a little, he's a length and a half in front of Soft Falling Rain and Bright Line, Variety Club in front, 100 metres left to go, South Africa's horse, Variety Club leads all of the way, wins the Godolphin Mile. Second, a photo, Soft Falling Rain and Flotilla the filly charging home. Then Gold City, Lamario, Bright Line, El Labelle, Eastern Rules, Sharuk, Harthek and Gabriel, Gloria Waits, Mull of Kalok, Penitent and Capital Attraction.
An absolutely masterful performance by Variety Club, piloted home to perfection by Anton Marcus from draw 15 as his saddlecloth signifies. It was never ever going to be plain sailing, but the multiple champion horse of the year made it one of those euphoric days that we have treasured ever since the beginning of Dubai World Cup time for South Africa back in 2002. And it turned out to be teamwork of ginormous proportions, with Team de Kock and Team Ramsden weaving their magic ways.
Well, it's fantastic, you know, any local South African horse to come all this way and do so well, and just to compete, the lone win is something very, very special. And the second horse also South African bred, so a great achievement for all around. But it's been a long, tough, hard road with lots of emotion involved with other things, and it's just fantastic to have got it.
So Anton Marcus, by my calculations, only had 2 career starts now on Dubai World Cup night. The first yielded a 50-to-1 success on JPEG, and this has now followed up with Variety Club, always just holding soft falling rate. Good run from Flotilla, who's bucked the trend and come from the back, and encouraging for those that are trying the surface for the first time, because that is what she was doing this evening.
Honour in defeat to last year's winner, Soft Falling Rain, and an exactor for South Africa in the Godolphin Mile.
Team South Africa, big contingent here every year, usually to support the Mike de Kock horses, but as you heard from Anton, Mike's played a big part in marshalling the success here of Variety Club. And he knows exactly what it takes to win this race, having done so a couple of times in his own right, including with Soft Falling Rain last year. But this time it's Anton Marcus who takes the glory.
You know, for Marcus and Ingrid, I think it's Marcus's first real exposure, international exposure, with this amount of success. But it was just a big team effort, you know. It's just pure elation.
And I can see that for you to win on this horse, it means a lot for South African racing, full stop.
Well, you know, obviously, I like to think of him as my horse, but he belongs to the whole of South Africa.
And so to the Gold Cup over 3,200 metres, where Star Empire was not expected to win, but certainly had the perfect preparation. So Mike de Kock and longtime friend and agent Johan Malherbe watch attentively as Star Empire runs into third place, almost casually doing so to give Team de Kock no less than 2 million South African rands for that very commendable third place.
Great run.
In the UAE Derby, South Africa had one of the biggest outsiders in the field in Jalota, who was not expected to win and unfortunately didn't do so. So it was time for the Quoz Sprint. The defending champion Shay was back. He had an absolutely sparkling preparation, having won the exact same race that he had won the year before, and it was going to take a track record performance to beat the son of National Emblem. He looked absolutely phenomenal as he strode into the paddock, and Team Klavervlei were there in all their glory to support their champion, including Brian Joffe, who had experienced the most euphoric moment of his life the year before. It was now time for Shay to head to the track.
And Shay looks the picture in the paddock, he really does. He won the race last year, he's dual winner of the Maidan Sprint. He has the 3 fastest times over course and distance to his name. And you heard from his trainer, Mike de Kock, about this top-class sprinter who has been prepared a little bit more with Europe in mind, but may improve even more then. He's heading in, he's one of the last. Stall 12 for Shay.
That looks to be it. They're ready for the Quoz Sprint. Racing, Shay from the outside began fairly, not with a great deal of gusto. He's taking a lead early behind Artug, but Amber Sky has come burning out of the gate, and Amber Sky goes to the lead. Hamza second, Bellino de Tiger third, followed by Beat Baby. Artug is following that group, then Soul Power, Medician Man, Joy and Fun is on the far side. Better back is Duck Scholar, Shola and the yellow colours. Cat Call is second last, and Shay, if he's to win this year, will have to come from last of all as they pass the 400 metres mark. Amber Sky in front of Hamza. Artug coming through in the centre, then Bellino de Tiger. Shay's now weaving his way through as they reach the 200. Amber Sky in front of Artug. Shay's got the third. Amber Sky in front of Artug. Shay's coming late, but Amber Sky in front. Chalk one up for Hong Kong. Amber Sky beat Artug and Shay.
An absolutely awe-inspiring performance by Amber Sky from Hong Kong under Joe Moreira, and anything but disconsolate was Christophe Soumillon coming back aboard Shay. Unfortunately, being drawn 12 and the speed horses having hogged the rail, Christophe Soumillon had absolutely no option but to come around them, and it was just unfortunately too late. But on face value, a track record broken, and Shay will most certainly live to fight another day. and that will probably be at Royal Ascot. But one's heart nevertheless has to go out to Brian Joffe and Team de Kock for what can only be described as a rather unfortunate state of affairs. And it was now time for the opening ceremony prior to the running of the Dubai Duty Free. The opening ceremony truly spectacular, but as a horseman, you had to ask yourself the question, how are the horses handling it? We've seen horses upset before, but Anaerobia showed absolutely no signs whatsoever of being upset at all. And neither did Vercingetorix. He had won 6 out of his last 6 starts, and definitely his stiffest task to date. Michael de Kock was, however, confident that he would step up to the plate against some of the world's finest thoroughbreds. A truly spectacular sight as the horses marched towards the parade ring, including Sir Michael Stout, who had Dank in the race, and he was walking just in front of Vercingetorix. Vercingetorix, who didn't have the jockey on his back just yet, was walking around the parade ring, and he looked totally spectacular. As the horses made their way out onto the grass track over 1,800 meters, it was Anton Marcus aboard Anaerobia, who had been the subject of some controversy. Let's see how he performed in this year's Duty Free. And so to the starting stalls of the 1,800 meters Dubai Duty Free. 5 million United States dollars. Mike and Diane de Kock, John Costa and Adrian Todd stand with bated breath.
Will be the last of 13 to be loaded for the first of the $5 million races. They're ready. Gates are back. They're racing in the Dubai Duty Free, and Trade Storm immediately dropped back. Dank going back and just away, not showing a great deal of pace. Takeo Halo came out very quickly, went looking for the lead. Educate blazing speed. Taz a Day and the Fugue not far away. Mashore was settling midfield on the inside of Anaerobia. Then Vercingetorix, who's out 3 wide. Logo Type 4 deep outside of that group. 2.5 lengths to Hunter's Light on the outside of Just Away. Dank is second last, and Trade Storm 2.5 lengths back at the tail of the field. Tazaday's out wide going forward. Mashore Wish on the rail, then Anaerobia Logo Type, followed by Hunter's Light. Vercingetorix is in the second half of the field. Dank's on the rail. Just Away is second last, and Trade Storm whipped the Duty Free field in as they came onto the bend with 500 meters left to run. Toko Halo in front. Hunter's Light has made a quick bid to get to second. Vercingetorix followed him forward. He's about to launch a claim, and Just Away went forward behind the King of the Gauls, and Just Away for Japan sprinted, coming to the 250 meters mark, and Just Away dashed away from Vercingetorix. They're clear of Anaerobia and Mashorwis, but Just Away was hyped, and the hype is right. Just Away, a big, big winner of the Dubai Duty Free from Vercingetorix.
There is no other way to describe it other than shell-shocked. When you see Christophe Soumillon's reaction after he returned to the winner's enclosure, it is absolutely mind-boggling.
You each at least 10.
I say I'm going to win by 5.
Congratulations.
If you win the World Cup, you win by 5. I'm telling you, I never see this.
How does this feel to be?
Just about ready.
And so to the $10 million Dubai World Cup. High drama for Sanshawis. Bred at the Oldland stud of Barbara Sanna, Christophe Soumillon in all sorts of trouble as Sanshawis had got his leg over the front gate. He had to be reversed out of the starting stalls, and Michael de Kock and his team, you could feel the atmosphere was palpable. Subjected to a veterinary examination, Sanshawis, well, one can never really speculate, but it's not the kind of thing that one wants to happen before the richest race in the world. Examined, scrutinized, and passed fit to race, Sanshawis takes his place in the lineup for the Dubai World Cup. The rest is an African story.
He is good to go. He has passed the vet check. Again, the starter reaches for the button. Gates fly, they're racing in the Dubai World Cup. Prince Bishop from the inside began awkwardly. Brett Cadeau went back shortly after the break. Akeed Mafeed, African Story, and Mukadram came out very quickly, with Mukadram tearing across from the outside, looking for the lead as they race past the judge the first time and go to the mile marker. Paul Hannigan took Mukadram to the front. Mukadram led on the turn, 450 metres left to go in the great race. Mukadram in front, African Story into the clear, moves to second. Ruler of the world under pressure, and Akeed Mafeed on the fence, nothing else running on. African Story and Mukadram, it's a Dubai Quinella. African Story's taken the lead, Mukadram battling back, but African Story in the blue of Godolphin is forging clear, and African Story wins the Dubai World Cup. African Story beat Mukadram, Catamount got up to run third. Then side glance Akeed Mafeed and Red Cadeau. Sanshorwes, Vancouverite, Belshazzar, Prince Bishop, Military Attack, Ron the Greek, Surf, Hokotayu Mihi, Ruler of the World, and Hillstar were the last pair to slow to a walk.
Owner celebrations. Godolphin, the leading carnival, and there, punch in the air.
That's pretty heavy.